Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. It's been a minute since I have picked up the camera and I just started going about the morning's tasks because that's just what I do around these parts. I have been struggling to put together videos, to put together any kind of coherent thought, to try to talk to the camera. I'm trying now. I have a bit of a mess in my kitchen. I've got whole bunches of books and computery things happening over there because we just got our curricula from my recent homeschool curriculum order, and I've been diving into that. I have both Instant Pots here on my counter actively doing things. This little guy over here has yogurt that I need to strain, and then this one has tallow that I rendered down from the beef we bought. I need to deal with that. I need to make some food. What else? I have other little food preppy type things that I need to do. My arm is starting to get tired and we are starting to wobble. I can see it. I can see it. Oh my stars. Unfiltered around these parts, I suppose. Today, I pray you are blessed. Let me get you set up in a position where I hope you'll be able to see reasonably well. I am straining out this tallow. I just fried a whole bunch of Brussels sprouts and some potato French fries for the girls. I just used my mandolin slicer to slice up potatoes for the girls, so it was super fresh, not frozen. And I do let them, have things that are not keto friendly. I want to be able to reuse this tallow because I only fried those two things in it, and I have ideas about part of the liver that we got from our beef, and I was thinking I wanted to try deep frying it. I need to actually go defrost it a little bit so my knife can cut through it. But I wanted to strain out the little bits of some Brussels sprout leaves that detached themselves from the sprout and are just kind of hanging in there like free radicals. So I want to filter that out. I want to strain my yogurt so that it's nice, thick Greek yogurt. I do have videos here on my channel from years past showing you how I make my homemade yogurt. I do it a little less involved at this point. I just dump the milk, dump my starter, set the yogurt button on the Instant Pot, and then walk away. It's brilliant. I love it. So I need to do those things. And then I know I want to prep up some sort of a food, breakfast type of a food. My goodness, can you see, I have been up since 4:45 a.m. and it is now 10:30. So be blessed by the under eye circles and all of the face issues. It's fine. We're fine. I actually do not care. Okay. Let me just start doing stuff and we'll talk through it as I go. I'm gonna hard boil some eggs in Instant Pot Mini. I just washed my liner here. I do have two liners. One is a non-stick and then the other one is the one that it comes with. But instead of just swapping around, I decided I'm just gonna stick with this one for today. I don't know how many of these eggs I'm gonna hard boil. Full disclosure, I just scrubbed my entire sink so that it wouldn't be full of dirty dishes for you to observe. I got hyper distracted with dealing with homeschool curriculum. But things have been afoot around here. My eggs have been chilling in the ice water so long that it is no longer ice water and it is now room temperature water. So that's fun. I pulled out some ground beef to have that thaw while I'm doing other things around the kitchen. And I've been working toward getting all of my tallow strained out here, and it's been here so long that it's already starting to solidify, so bless. I am working on getting the other jar filled. I had a half gallon of tallow in my Instant Pot, so and when I used it, obviously you use up some of that tallow. It gets absorbed into the food stuffs. So yeah, I'm slowly but surely getting, I don't know if you can see that, the lighting is terrible. Slowly but surely getting all of those Brussels sprout leaves out. I even had to restart my Instant Pot over here because the viscosity got to be too thick on the actual tallow. So I just restarted the saute function for just a few minutes so it would become a little bit thinner and strain through. I was using coffee filters, but they were getting clogged up pretty quickly, and the paper towel seemed to work just as well without getting as clogged. So maybe it's not working as well. That's probably why it's flowing a little faster, but also it's warmer now, so it's hard to know which variable is the right variable to create the change. Anyway, my yogurt has almost totally finished its cycle of straining, so I need to move that over to a storage container in my fridge. Let's do that. Based on the volume of whey that I pulled out of my yogurt, I think it will fit in this 4-cup container. All right, my 4-cup bowl here was exactly the right size if I were to not put a lid on this container. However, I intend on putting this in the refrigerator. I'm not going to do that without a lid. And the type of lid that this has is like one that depresses the things that are sort of bubbling over. So to simplify my life, I have a silicone lid that I can just slap on there. It now has some sort of protection from the refrigerator, even if it is a little bit large. The next size down was just a smidge too small. So we're gonna go with this, and I'm gonna pop that in the fridge, and it'll be ready the next time we need some yogurt. All right, and look at all of that. I was able to filter out of my tallow. So I wound up with, about a cup less than half a gallon. Not bad, not bad. I'm gonna let that cool down. I'm gonna take care of this mess, and this task will be complete. As for this zone, my meat still needs to continue to thaw, and I've got those eggs here. I could choose to peel these right now, or I can pop them in the fridge and peel them as we consume them. I think that is the path I will take today. Also, my sink used to be empty, but it is quickly filling as I carry on with the day. So I'm gonna pop those into the fridge in a designated hard-boiled egg container, and then I'm gonna work on cleaning up that mess. Okay, I have been derailed. Pretty significantly, actually, if we're gonna be real, just like honest with ourselves, because that's who I struggle with the most, is like trying to assess myself honestly in situations. I stumbled headfirst into a black hole of playing with our curricula and trying to get those things managed. Now, granted, during that time, my tallow had cooled, and so I've got it, like, you can't see that in the background, can you? I set my chill, or like cooled, solidified tallow back there, so I feel good about that. I got the eggs in the fridge. That's something. And look, the dishes over here. Those are clean. I'm winning at life. But I have not touched probably 2/3 of the things that I thought I was going to manage today. I did it again. I got derailed again. Children came through requiring snacks and things, so we dealt with that situation. And then I realized, oh, one child was painting back here on the dining table and they were all finished. Let's clean that up. So we put those things away, reset the table. Thumbs up, dude, looking great. Oh, I'm parched. I need some bubbly. Fridge up here is out of bubbly. You know what? No biggie. I'm gonna take the bin. We have a little clear bin. Walk the bin downstairs, get more bubblies out of the basement fridge, walk them back up here. It's all gonna be great. So I did that, but en route, I opened up the basement fridge and I was like, oh, that's right. And I got really excited. And then I realized this is how my world is. It's if you give a mom a bubbly, she's going to find bones to turn into bone marrow or bone broth. You can't actually turn bones into bone marrow. You can roast bones for the marrow. So I felt like that clarification was necessary. However, I'm not gonna just pop these into my oven as they are, because that is the next activity, is to pop these into the oven to roast the marrow, because marrow is delightful. We're going to roast the marrow. Don't let that go to waste. But there's so much meat left here from the butchers. And I mean, you know, the butcher goes in for efficiency. I go in as a glutton for punishment and try to like completely ignore the entire forest because this one tree happens to have something of interest to me, even if it is like the lowest totem priority for me. Okay, moving on. So next task we're gonna do is we're gonna trim this one, and I think we'll trim up this guy. We'll trim up these two because my entire house is full of a beef. We have so much beef right now and it's fantastic, but it's also having to be dealt with. I also found out just how much fat is still in the fridge. Like this is still in the fridge and it's beautiful fat, and I would love to go ahead and render this down into tallow and some cracklins because, oh, fresh cracklins. So good. But I just finished that tallow back there, and so I'm gonna pop this in the freezer. We're gonna hold on to it. We'll do this one next time. That's what we'll do. We're gonna manage the bones first. Things are just chugging right along right now. I've got the air fryer going with some chicken strips for the girls that I make. And then I've got the Instant Pot here. It just beeped to let me know that the timer is starting. It has reached pressure for making some broth or stock or however you want to call it. I personally use those words interchangeably, and I'm sure I am wrong. So there's that. But what I want to show you is this. Oh, it smells amazing. And it's hard to see everything in there because I'm trying to keep everything kind of contained, but my goodness. Oh, you can't even see that one back there bubbling away. Look at it. All right, let's try to see. Well, there's loads of fat rendering out here, so I'm gonna guess we are just about there. Woo-hoo. All right, I've chosen the smallest little fella here. I'm gonna need a vehicle for this marrow because obviously we need vehicles. And today I'm gonna choose carnivore crisps. Sometimes people will put bone marrow on crostini or little tiny pieces of toast or crackers. But if you are eating a low carb way of life, a keto friendly way of life, you need something different. And I have these delicious carnivore crisps already open. Pork loin right here. It's one of my absolute favorites. I also have some beef ribeye that is one of my top 3. And I thought about it. I was debating on whether or not I should do beef heart, just because, you know, like I feel like marrow and heart, they're all kind of in that realm of not your typical choices. But because my pork loin is opened, that's what I'm going to use as my vehicle for my marrow. And I've also got some real salt that I will be seasoning this with. One thing I do love about carnivore crisps is that it's just the meat and the Redmond salt. I love that they use Redmond salt. Get a little bit of marrow right there. That is amazing. 10 out of 10. Recommend. If you buy a beef, get you some bones and get to roasting the marrow out of it because that's delightful. Down in my description box below, there is an affiliate link for carnivore crisps if you would like to go check them out and you haven't already. If you do love them the same way as I do, I have a coupon code for you. It's Lindsey that gets you 10% off of your order. And I think you can use that as many times as you like. I know these are not cheap. The quality of the meat or organs is top notch, and they only use that particular meat or organ and salt, the real salt. So they're good quality product. I like to use things like this from time to time in my way of eating so that I can make it sustainable for myself. And honestly, as a vehicle for this marrow, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything better. A spoon. That's the only other option. I am going to continue digging this out and finish eating it on my pork loin here. And when my bone broth is ready to go, there will also be plenty of that meat in there for me to fry up in a skillet to get some crispy bits to it, because I do like a crispy texture. And then I'll be able to package it up once it cools down. I just can't with this. It's incredible. It is gorgeous and it tastes amazing. So I'm gonna go and sort of like get all of this out, scoop it out as best as I can to save it for tomorrow. And then also, do you see all of this shiny liquid? That is pure gold. I'm also gonna sort of squeegee that off of there into my container because waste not, want not. Well, it's near 7 o'clock and I've been awake since before 5 a.m., which is not my typical. And therefore, my energy and my enthusiasm and my body are slowly just like sliding down a hill into tired. My Instant Pot back here has what, like 15 to 20 minutes left on it for that broth. And so I'm gonna manage that when it's done, but I don't know that I have the energy and wherewithal to actually like remember to film when I do that. So I'm gonna tell you instead of showing you, which is like a cardinal sin in the world of YouTube land. So anyway, that's where I'm gonna leave you. Thank you so much for just kind of scooting along with me on this very low production value video. And I actually think I'd really enjoy joining you in this video. Right here, YouTube thinks that you will love it. And if you have a few minutes to spare, I would love to meet you there. Look at me, rhyming. Poet. Did you know it? Oh my word, I have to quit.